Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. We're taking a look at the forecast and what to expect for today and tomorrow. Feel free to shoot me a message or make a comment to ask something. We'll be answering questions on Facebook Live for the next 20 to 30 minutes or so here on social media. So Vanessa says, good morning. Good morning to you, Vanessa. Good morning to David. He says there is so much mold in the air that when he takes out the bread to eat, oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, David, so there's a lot of mold in the air as a result of all the moisture. And that's only going to trend upward. I mean, with more rain today, tomorrow, and through Friday, expect the mold counts to really spike up through the end of the week. And unfortunately, if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, you'll likely feel it in your allergen, especially, again, the mold will be high. Let's actually take a look at the latest mold count. I do have it somewhere. Give me 1 second. I know the mold count this afternoon. Yesterday and now this morning has an update. It's up to 13,000 on the mold count, which is incredible. So let's actually tweak that graphic real quick and we'll get right to the weather forecast. But yeah, the rain, the clouds this morning all contributed to a lot of high water spots, especially along 281, 1604, I-10. There was some minor flooding in central and northern Bexar County, probably south, likely south of Hollywood Park. So if you're in the Bulverde area, or maybe in the Fair Oaks Ranch, Bernie area, you saw a little bit of rain, but a lot of the downpours that materialized earlier today was really in central and in northern Bexar County. So, okay, so I can't find that particular graphic. But anyway, so the mold is very heavy today. So if you're sensitive to the mold, it's up to 13,000. That's the latest count from our allergist today on this Wednesday. So mold is very heavy as a result of all the rain this morning. So let's show you what we got. So you'll see on radar and satellite, there's a lot of clouds. It's mostly clear up north, right? So up to San Angelo, Abilene, West Texas, it's clear. But you move farther south and you run into a stalled front. And what that's going to do is keep clouds around all day, keep the temperatures down as well, in addition to at least sparking off a pretty good coverage of rain all day long today. So you'll see out near Houston, it's pretty bad. I mean, they are getting some pretty good downpours over there. Where, matter of fact, I mean, south of Sealy and south of Houston, they're seeing some flood-provoking rains just north of Galveston, and that's only going to continue to move east. So that's moving away from us. But back here at home in the San Antonio area, I'll actually rewind the clock and show you the last 6 hours and show you that one downpour that moved very slowly from north to south earlier this morning. So let's play the clock and show you the radar. So at 5 a.m. it was quiet, but look at this. This is incredible. So at about, let's say, 6:30 this morning, it was quiet, and then a downpour off that frontal boundary lifted the air up and produced a downpour that just sat over central and northern Bexar County, basically between Hollywood Park and Stone Oak for about an hour. So that's 6:30 earlier this morning. And let's fast forward to 7:30. It doesn't move much. It goes down to the 410 loop, and it stays over for 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and it doesn't fizzle out till about 9:30. And now most of the rain coverage has kind of dissipated. So it's mostly dry right now. So if you're getting out in the next half hour or so, you're good to go. There will be wet spots all across Bexar County, especially on the north side of town, in addition to a few high water spots. I was driving into work earlier this morning on 281, and there were a lot of closed areas basically between Bitters Road and 1604. So if you're driving anywhere between there on 1604 and 281 up to Bitters Road, you're likely going to encounter a few slowdowns, because that's where I saw a lot of water just piling up and funneling into the bottom side of 281, which is just crazy to see. I mean, yes, we're in drought, so our soil can handle this. However, when you get so much rain in a short amount of time earlier this morning, it's going to contribute to at least some minor to isolated flooding in the area. So the only spot that's in the area in the San Antonio region that's seeing some flooding is likely between I-10 and 281 as a result of this morning's rain. And you'll see the Weather Service has issued this right here. So I'll zoom in and show you what we got. This is a flood advisory until 10:45. So this will expire in the next 3 minutes, and I do think it will expire just because there's no additional rain around to aggravate any more of the pockets of flooding we saw earlier today. So again, you can see this is the advisory map in addition to the radar map. And you'll see as I zoom out, most of the rain is west along the Rio Grande, along Eagle Pass, Del Rio, and towards Maverick County and towards Valverde County. However, there is a front stalled out in our region, and what that's going to do with more daytime heat is contribute to more scattered rain all day today. So The main event was this morning. That was probably the heaviest of rain we're going to see all day today. However, through 2, 3, and 4 p.m., with more instability coming in from the atmosphere, I do think that's going to help produce more scattered showers across the region. And you can see it does get heavier down east on I-10, towards Gonzales, towards Galveston. Matter of fact, East Texas and most of Louisiana are under at least some sort of flood advisory or flood watch. So if you have family, if you're friends, or if you are traveling down I-10 towards Houston or Louisiana, you are going to encounter more rain. So drive carefully. Obviously, Houston can be renowned for a lot of its traffic, especially in the morning and late evening hours. And when you add on rain to that, it's not a good combination. So most of the rain right now moving towards Houston. Matter of fact, let's show you the loop. And let me rewind this to 3 hours. That's the last 6 hours. So this shows you the loop over the last 3. So rain kind of fizzling out down I-35 and around San Antonio. Most of the widespread rain near Houston. And let's show you just specifically if we're seeing any rain in the area. So this is sweeping radar. Nothing in the area that's measurable. Is there a few sprinkles out there? Probably. However, in terms of more localized heavy rain, that's out near Kerrville. That's out near Camp Wood, east of Rock Springs and south of Junction. And these downpours are super localized. They're very isolated and not much to deal with out there right now. But farther south into Eagle Pass, and then Maverick County, and then Valverde County. That's where you're seeing a little bit more rain too, but at this hour it's really fizzled out and decreased in coverage, which is good because we saw a little bit of flooding in San Antonio today. But right now it's quiet, so that is the good news. Now, let's show you what we got. Here's some of the accumulation totals from earlier today. Let me rewind that back and clear the screen. Perfect, perfect, and let me save that. So if you're watching from, let's say, Stone Oak area, you can see a big chunk of the rain that fell earlier this morning, and the flooding was in Stone Oak towards I-10, towards 281, and up to Hollywood Park. And you'll see as I kind of sample some of this data and some of the radar estimates from, that's the off air, here's it, okay, perfect. So you can see that localized pocket up to 1.5 to 2 inches of rain in just a couple hours, which is incredible. I mean, that's a lot of rain in just 2 to 3 hours, which is crazy to see. Out near Helotes and Scenic Oaks, Bernie, and outside of Bernie, some pockets out near Canyon Lake, which is perfect, right? They always need rain, especially in this kind of summer we're in. And some of these rain estimates are usually around 0.2 to maybe 1/2 inch of rainfall, but it's really out near Hollywood Park that got the bulk of it. So that's scattered rain earlier today. Not everyone saw rain, especially on the west side of San Antonio. It was very quiet. But as I zoom in and show you what we got Castle Hills, we got Alamo Heights, we got Leon Valley, Garden Ridge. It was really between I-10, Warsbach Parkway, 410, and 281. That was the small pocket of a downpour that generated up to 2 to 3 inches of rain from about 6 a.m. to about 8:30 a.m. this morning. And let's sample some of this, and you'll see this green pocket, this estimate is upwards of 2 to maybe 2.5 inches in some spots just near 410 and near 281 in Hollywood Park. So that's kind of showing you the bulk of rainfall from earlier this morning. But now, if you're just joining us, it is quiet. We saw some rain this morning, but now it's starting to really kind of quiet down, and you'll see most of the rain that was in the last half hour was out near Cotulla, south of Uvalde, east of Eagle Pass, and right now the radar, if you're getting out this morning, it is mostly quiet as of that last frame right there. So that's good news. And let's show you kind of a live look outside and show you what we got. It is mostly cloudy, overcast, and we'll see a little bit of sunshine today. But again, with that frontal boundary near us, I do think that's going to help elevate our chance for rain even more through about, lunchtime, 2, 3, 4 p.m., especially in the early afternoon hours. And the good news with the clouds and rain, that's going to keep our temperatures down a little bit. You can see we're at 77 in the city, same thing at Bernie, 78 in Rock Springs, 85 at Beeville, and 85 at George West. Here's the timeline for today. Through about lunchtime, mostly cloudy and mostly dry. However, after about 2 o'clock, that's when I do think we'll get a little bit of heating, highs near the upper 80s, lower 90s, a little bit of sunshine here and there. And that'll help generate a few scattered showers. Is it going to be a ton? I don't think so. It's not going to be like earlier this morning. However, you'll see based on this one forecast model, which right now, earlier this morning it was doing a good job at handling the storms. However, right now, not so much. So let's actually switch up the model runs. We'll do this real time. So this is the HRRR high resolution model. Did a good job of, again, handling the storms from this morning. However, it's not initializing well right now. And let's show you what the IBM is going for. So let's take a look at what radar looks like right now. As of this last frame right there. Let's actually show you this right there. Perfect. So there's a little bit of rain to the southwest near Eagle Pass. So it's quiet in San Antonio, and that's kind of what this model is going for. However, it's picking out some heavy rain out near Uvalde and Honda, which is not the case. So let's actually go to another model. Not so much the case, and maybe the HRRR. See, all three of these high-resolution models are not doing a good job. So we'll continue with this one right here. This is the HRRR, and it continues with kind of some more scattered activity through 3 and 4 p.m. today. So that's why we're keeping a chance at rain through the entirety of your Wednesday, and I would say probably after sunset, things quiet down again. And just to reiterate, most will not see rain this afternoon. It's just kind of those pockets of heavy rain that kind of develop between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And that'll be primarily due to heating in the front that's out to the south. So, are we expecting rain like this morning today? No, it's mostly going to be scattered activity through the afternoon, 91 degrees and 80 at about 10 o'clock with more pop-up activity in the overnight. So let's show you kind of what we are looking at in terms of rain totals. So this is one forecast model. This is actually the IBM, and you'll see between maybe a ½ an inch to an inch and a half through about Thursday night into Friday morning. But notice this depicts it pretty well. I mean, areas up north away from the front, not going to see much. Fredericksburg up to Austin, likely to see a little less than 1/100 of an inch up farther north of I-35. But around San Antonio, and especially the farther south you are, Pleasanton, Cotulla, Beeville, Victoria, George West, Carrizo Springs, there are going to be pockets between basically Laredo and Corpus Christi that'll be along that specific frontal boundary that'll ignite more and more rain. So while San Antonio, Kerrville, Gonzales, New Braunfels may not see a lot of the rain, however, there will be a few pockets of rain farther south of I-10, really, towards Cotulla, that will see upwards of an additional 2 to 3 inches of rain. You saw on radar that it was more busy towards the southwest, towards Cotulla and towards Beeville. And I think that'll be the case later on this afternoon and even through tomorrow as this front kind of wobbles back and forth across the region between here, Corpus Christi, Brownsville, Laredo, and Eagle Pass. Now here's the next 3 days. It says the next 7 days on this outlook. However, I kind of minimized it and just wanted to highlight the next 3 days. So basically through Friday, here's what we could be looking at. Basically anywhere from north of I-10 to Austin to Kerrville, maybe around 1/4 to 1/10 of an inch. I'll have to update these numbers, so I'm actually going to take these out and show you what we got. And this is not the number, but if you look at the legend at the top right of the screen and the top on the banner where it says rainfall forecast, you'll see that the green colors are kind of indicative of maybe 1/10 to 1/4 near Austin, New Braunfels, Kerrville, Fredericksburg. But the farther southwest you go, the higher rain totals you're going to see between today, tomorrow, and Friday. And here's the coverage. Tomorrow, 50%, 40 on Friday, and about isolated to spotty activity the weekend. So the good news, if you have weekend plans, it's the last weekend of August. I think most plans should go off without a hitch. However, most of the downpours that will materialize will be between now and Friday in the San Antonio area. So we have more rain to look forward to. It's not going to be all day rain, but scattered activity will continue to develop later on today and through Thursday and through Friday as temperatures warm up slightly into the middle 90s. Okay, guys, mold is high. Again, we started off the weathercast with the more rain you see, the more clouds you see, the more moisture you see, the higher the mold count is. As a matter of fact, it's at 13,120 as of this Wednesday morning. So it is very heavy today, over 13,000 on the mold count. So if you sneeze, if you are sensitive to the mold in the air, well, limit time outdoors today because it's very heavy this afternoon. That's the 7-day. Let's show you and zoom in. 92 on Thursday, 94 on Friday, and lower to middle 90s by the weekend. And then Monday, Tuesday, rain chances stick around. They're not as elevated as today and tomorrow. However, that may change as we get more data in, as the forecast models continue to update, and we get more of a forecast guidance from the long-range models. So we'll continue to update this. Otherwise, how's Del Rio looking today? That's what Vanessa asked. Okay, so let's look at Del Rio and show you what it looks like this afternoon. So right now, Del Rio, quiet. It's mostly dry inside Del Rio in southern Val Verde County. Eagle Pass, there are a few downpours out there. but nothing heavy, right? And most of the rain has fizzled out and moved farther east towards Houston. That's the big takeaway. If you're traveling to Houston, Galveston, Lake Charles, Louisiana, or East Texas, that's where most of the rain is right now. But for Del Rio specifically, let's look at the forecast model. I do think there's going to be scattered activity out near Del Rio today, Vanessa. Not going to be a ton, but there will be a few kind of these pockets of heavy rain that move in from Del Rio towards Eagle Pass and towards San Antonio along this boundary itself. So you'll see rain's not going to be everywhere today. This is tonight through tomorrow morning. Let's rewind it back and show you 2 o'clock today. This is what it could look like. This is the HRRR's opinion on what the forecast model is looking like and going for. Kind of scattered activity, cloudy skies, a little bit of sunshine here and there, and some embedded heavy downpours around the Bexar County area and around Uvalde, around Del Rio, around Rock Springs. But notice it's not going to be everywhere, so expect just scattered activity today, mostly clouds, temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s, and we'll kind of maintain this routine of things where in the mornings and afternoons you could encounter a few pockets of heavy rain, otherwise just scattered in the afternoon. 92 on Thursday, 94 on Friday, and 93 through the weekend. And keep in mind, this weekend is the last weekend of August, and rain chances stay with us, at least isolated, by next Monday and Tuesday. Matter of fact, next Tuesday, I believe is next Wednesday is the last day of August. So we're just 1 week away basically from the end of August, and September 1st begins on Thursday, next Thursday. So the month has been going by quick, and matter of fact, I just updated this and show you before we just wrap things up on the 7-day. So earlier this month, we were just completely behind on rainfall. We were just well behind schedule, but given that we've picked up about 1.2 inches of rain today at the airport, and especially in around northern Bexar County, that has almost brought us up to the August average, and that's great because, I mean, May was behind schedule, June was one of the driest months on record in San Antonio, so was July, but August is kind of maintaining a good schedule in terms of accumulated rainfall. In our month-to-date, rainfall is 1.79, and you'll see the average August at the end of the month is around 2.15. So we're a little bit below the norm, but hey, we still have a few days left, and you'll notice on the 7-day, there's daily chances for rain through the weekend. While the rain won't be as widespread Saturday and Sunday, there will be a couple pockets of rain later on this weekend. So expect 50% scattered rain today, same thing for tomorrow, and then it rains pretty much Friday in the morning and 94 in the afternoon as sunshine comes out. And then we'll just kind of trend right near 93 Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as we kind of slowly wrap up the month of August. Forecast rain totals between now and Friday, likely around, let's say, a half an inch to an inch of rainfall. So that could aggravate a couple of spots, especially along I-10 and 281. That's I've already seen some heavy rain. But again, I think that flood advisory has already expired. Let's actually go to that before we round things up. Yeah, so that flood advisory has expired. Along the Nueces River, at least towards Tilden and let's say 281, you'll notice this kind of green polygon from McMullen County to Live Oak County and B County. This is along the river itself. This is far south of San Antonio, but this is in effect until tomorrow, I think. So this has actually been kind of an ongoing theme for the Nueces River and rivers to our south near Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon. They saw a lot of rain last week, and they're seeing even more rain this week. So that's going to continue to add to the potential for flash flooding south of San Antonio. But right now, all advisories have expired, all watches have expired, and you'll see on this radar loop, it is mostly quiet, mostly cloudy, with most of the rain very light in nature out near Eagle Pass and even just outside of Del Rio. Okay, we'll keep it on radar for right now, and then we'll toss it to the 7-day and let that play for just a little bit longer. Feel free to ask a question. Vanessa, yeah, good morning to you. Same thing. Del Rio, more scattered rain this afternoon for Del Rio and areas along the Rio Grande. And there is a lot of mold in the air. If you're just tuning in, daily chances for rain, temperatures in the 90s and upper 80s. And since the moisture content is so high, and we've seen so much rainfall this morning and even in the last several days, kind of on and off waves of showers, the mold count is up to very, very heavy. It's over 13,000 on the latest count from our allergist report. So please, if you are sensitive to the molds, please limit time outdoors and have an umbrella handy. Otherwise, somewhat cooler than average with daily chances for rain and storms through Thursday and for Friday.